What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Nakusoo, and today we are going to be playing some more Shantae Risky's Revenge Director's Cut. On this walkthrough, we're going to be doing a couple things, actually quite a few things, and it's going to take a lot of the episode to get to the boathouse because we are going to be stopping by the barren desert. And at the beginning I did pick up 2 items and also some health pots and a magic vial. So I wanted to get the mega pike ball. As you see right here, it's so powerful. It's a really awesome one, and this is basically, you're kind of invincible for the most part as long as you play it safe. And it does a lot of damage because each time one of those balls hits an enemy, it counts, and it's pretty quick on the rotation. I also did pick up the Spitfire, that's for our fireball, and that is going to allow us to get that one upgrade that we couldn't get to on the last episode where I said you needed to get that fireball upgrade. So since we have this Spitfire, we can get that later on into the actual walkthrough. For now, in the barren desert, I hope you paid attention to the rocks that we passed right through. This rock right here will lead to a magic jam, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff in the barren desert, pretty much clear it all up. So we got the magic jam, and of course, like always, just jump back down, take some damage because that's still a lot better than using your magic, unless you're playing on magic mode and you kind of want to preserve your magic. Although remember that your magic doesn't get used up as much in this mode. Always recommend taking maximum pots if you can when you get back, though that does waste some time if you're trying to do this during a speed run. And now since we have the elephant upgrade, we can come back here again. Yeah, this looks very familiar, doesn't it? Once we were coming through this cave after we cleared the battle tower, we're basically going backwards, I guess you can say, and getting some of these upgrades. Here is the second purple rock that was on the last episode. And once we break this, we can get access to a new ability. As you can see, the stone rocks up there. You might have some sort of idea what the ability might be. I recommend using the monkey form right here, as it's pretty much more accurate in my opinion, jumping in monkey form than when you're with Shantae. It seems easier, smaller hitbox. I'm not sure if that matters too much, but I always like using this, and it also saves time because you can jump on the platforms, get a higher reach, and it's definitely much easier. These jumps are really tricky. Cool trick is just sliding down onto the last one, though that's risky. And we gain access to the elephant stomp. While in the air, we can stomp right down on these rocks and break them. And of course, we need these upgrades in order to proceed with the game. So once again, don't worry about them being on your item count, because you're going to need to go back. You're going to need to backtrack. This is a Metroidvania game. Remember that. So that is very, very important. So as we head towards the west side of this desert, there is going to be another magic jam that we will be approaching on, which is one of the harder jams to get because it's not obvious such as the other ones. This one is out of the way, and in order to get that specific jam, we're going to need an upgrade for the monkey form. And this is also a pretty good chance to show off more of the barren desert because we're not going to be coming back here too often, or if at all, during the rest of this playthrough. We'll probably be coming back near the end for a quest, but that's pretty much it. You don't see the barren desert as much as you do the other areas, and we want to go into this cave right here. So this leads outside once again. You see that we're taking our time. We have to bypass all these archers that's coming up. I recommend using the monkey form here, as you'll dodge a lot of these enemies. You'll dodge the archers. Make sure you take your time if you need to, but especially when scaling these walls. As you can see right here, you couldn't do this otherwise if you didn't have the monkey form, but you do get the monkey form before this, so that's kind of irrelevant. Just trying to make sure you know what you need when you come into this desert. This is another rock that we have to break, and this will get us our next monkey upgrade, or should I say our first monkey upgrade. That is going to be the monkey bullet, which is pretty cool. So just hop over here, and also notice that you needed fire in order to break that wood to burn it down. So be careful of getting that when you come back here. You'll need one of each of the upgrades to bypass the game in total, so you kind of do need like one of all of the basic upgrades that you can get in the store, though that's really easy to get. As we head to the west, as you can see, there is a warp squid. That was pretty convenient, right? Well, the thing is, we're going to want to go back again towards the barren desert. It's going to be a lot of backtracking, so forgive me if this takes, a little time. I'm not going to cut this part out because I feel this is pretty important when you want to get that magic jam so you can see exactly where I'm going. We're going to have to go all the way towards the west once again. The good thing is we can refill our health right there. Also some magical vials. Remember that those fill back up after time. So it's pretty easy to get that. And once we head to the west again, we needed the monkey bullet in order to get this jam, as I mentioned earlier. So we're going to go all the way to the west to the end. And the cool thing about the monkey bullet is you can travel a pretty fair distance, and it's also a good way to travel on walls to bypass some platforming that you will be doing later on. Especially in the yeah, no one's seen that right there. Oh boy, gosh dang it. Well, anyway, like I was saying, especially in the last dungeon, it's pretty useful, and the last area of the game. There's going to be a lot of backtracking near the end of the game that I worked out, so definitely once we get to that part, it's going to be like, oh man, so much backtracking. But yeah, if you want to get everything, it requires quite a bit of commitment in order to get 100% on this game. So what we want to do is use the monkey bullet right here to get the magic jam. Also of note, don't go in any of the caves, because if you do, you'll spawn at them. So you just want to jump down straight there and get back towards the pumpkin patch. That saved us about, what, 1.5 minutes of backtracking, so that's pretty good. You could also take the warp squid, but that still is going to take a lot of time. I recommend just going and falling off. Make sure, again, you have the health to do it. Otherwise, you will get a game over, and if you didn't save, you kind of screwed yourself a little bit, just a little bit. And now, since we did all of that, that is about half of the episode that I think we have to go to the boathouse now, if I remember correctly. Yes, that is going to be to the east. And if you remember, there was a stone statue guy, rock creature near Scuttle Town towards the east, and we couldn't get out of there. But now, since we did get the upgrade for this, we have the elephant. We can't get past there, and that will lead us to the boathouse to meet Abner and Poe. And they'll be helping us get into the last dungeon, and that is going to be pretty awesome. I can't believe that we're getting close to the end of this game, to the end of this walkthrough. So far, I hope I've been doing a pretty decent job at this. I really hope like you can follow it a lot. But we are at the Mermaid Cliffs, so as you can see here, I'm using my elephant form. Let's go towards the east. This is a good strategy. You may take one hit or two. If you get really good at this, and if the RNG gods are in your favor, you will be able to bypass all of this without getting hit. I only did it one time. As you can see, we did pass the dungeon, and we're going to want to keep going all the way to the east. One of the most hated enemies for me is the mermaids. They do a lot of damage. They have two forms of attack. Now, you thought the bats were annoying, that they keep following you. The mermaids can hurt you with the hearts that you see over their heads. They can also throw out a bubble shot, and when they go back down into the water, they can hit you if you are touching them, though when they're in their puddle they have no effect on you whatsoever. You want to be careful of these enemies. These enemies are one of the strongest, even though it doesn't look like it. That's just because I have the Mega Pike Ball, which does short work of them. You can usually kill them out straight at the start. You may have to do some dodging. You can also skip them if you don't want to fight them, but they do give you 5 gems per kill, so that's pretty good. So decent way to gain some currency so you can buy some stuff later on. A lot of these crabs jumping up and down, bats, everything is coming out at you. Make sure you hit this warp squid for later on when we do some more backtracking. And oh yeah, we'll be coming back to all of these places, so just remember where everything is. Get a good eye on certain features such as the broken bridge. And once we get to the east here, we finally made it to the boathouse. Not too bad, right everyone? That was pretty good. Look who's back. Yeah, we are back here. We're going to be dealing with you and your shenanigans. So yeah, we have your drink here, a nice awesome latte, a chick's drink. Oh, I see how it is. So yeah, at least Poe will be quiet and you guys can finally help us get into the last dungeons so we can kind of save our Uncle Mimic. He's kind of having a hard time there, probably getting tortured, tickled to death. I don't know, whatever the Tinkerbats will do. So anyway, here's the ticket to getting into the Hypno Baron's joint. And that's going to be the plastic explosives. Yeah, you didn't think it would be like explosives, right? Something so easy, so simple. We're going to need to get this and also a upgrade that Shantae will give you a hint. So we have the yellow there saying plastic explosive, and Shantae will give you another hint that you need one upgrade in the store. It doesn't matter if it's the first, second, or third, you just need one. And what is it going to be? An electrical spark. And if you guessed it, yes, 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 it will be the Crush Puff. That is the cloud upgrade. And at this point, I don't use the cloud too much. I haven't found a lot of use for it since it's a stationary. Besides the first boss, that kills the first boss extremely quickly. It's pretty useful, I guess you can say, during the last parts of the game, but for the most part, the Mega Pike Ball really outshines everything else. Unfortunately, I wish they gave the other weapons and upgrades some more usability, but I guess you can use the others if you really want to make it harder. I might take some damage here, but it doesn't matter too much. I have potions to sustain me. I made sure to equip all of that at the beginning of this episode because I know I was going to take so much damage during this part. I still need to get better at this one part. Maybe dodging the enemies. You can't jump over these mermaids in monkey form, which is another thing that you can do if you don't want to deal with all of these enemies, because there's a lot of things in the way, a lot of clutter. And you can see how the Mega Pike Ball is helping me a lot with this compared to the Super Pike Ball with the 2 balls going around. This one much quicker, much easier to take these other enemies out. And I also like how you see the seagulls, they like kind of come in a 3D effect. They come to the screen. It's just a nice little detail that I noticed when I was playing this, when I was just going around looking for details. You can also see in the back there an island. So that's pretty cool that you can see all of this stuff. And it looks like once we go to the left, the island may be getting bigger. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I definitely want to use some health here. I'm kind of scared. I don't want to die. Definitely this is a no death run, so I might as well do that. Sorry for whipping out there and not just taking these enemies on. I'm gonna make sure I don't die. Still something I have to improve on while I play this game. But we did make it back finally, ladies and gentlemen. Let's plant these explosives here. Then use our Crush Puff to explode the crap out of this door so we can get to the next dungeon, which is the Hypno Dungeon. And it's definitely going to be the hardest boss out of the 2 that we faced so far. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching, and on the next episode we're going to be taking down the Hypno Tower. Later, folks.